The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Get up to 1K in deposit match for Summer Fantasy with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Thursday afternoon, August 7th, here to break down the games for Friday. I'm your host, Reichel, once again joined by Lonte Smith. Together, we're going to break down the games for tomorrow. Lonte, how's it going with you? What's up?
Not much, man. Pretty good. It's coming off of, I think me and Mal had a decent Monday and Tuesday show. So hoping to build on that. And we got some good series coming up. So looking forward to try to take advantage of some of these numbers.
Yep, looking forward to it as well. Once again, you had a very small slate of baseball games on Thursday. You have 4 games, and I believe they're a game and a half in at this point. But either way, when it's time to move on into the games for Friday. Before we get into any of the games, though, a reminder that the Sports Game Podcast is back with the 32 NFL team previews because they're bringing back the phrase that pays as well. In each episode, they'll have a keyword, a 32-word phrase, submit the entire phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Anyway, so getting into the actual card, a lot of games to get into. We have 15. Starting off with the first game, you have the Reds taking on the Pirates. They're playing in a little while. You have Skeens pitching today. As for tomorrow, you have Burns against Keller. Now, for the pricing, Pittsburgh's minus 120. The Reds are around plus 100, and the over-under is around 8. Burns has had a pretty weird rookie season because he strikes out a ton of guys, but the problem is he gives up a ton of contact because he's not been too good so far this season, as ERA is over 6. But he has struck out 10 guys in 3 of his last 4 starts, so we'll see how he does in this one. He went 1 inning with 2 strikeouts against the Braves. They had the rain cancellation, so he did not come back in to pitch the day after. But he strikes out a ton of guys, gets, once again, hurt a decent amount. And Keller's been the opposite. He's pretty steady. Feel like he's a guy who might be traded in the offseason. He's 5-10, 3.89 ERA. He's been consistent, and you're looking at his numbers recently. They have been a bit worse, as he has allowed at least 3 runs in 3 straight starts. So I'll ask you for this one. First of all, do you think Pittsburgh should be favored in this game?
Yeah, I think so. Rightfully so. I mean, they're good at home. They're 6-4 in their last 10 just overall, but the volatility of Burns probably should make them, a favor. I think you rattled off all the key numbers. He's pitched against some quality offenses as well. His last start was cut short due to the rain delay, so he's on a bit of a bit of extra rest per se. And Cincinnati's won, 4 of 6 in the head-to-head this season. I mean, all of those were early on, so I don't know how much you want to put into that. But I looked at under. I know Keller's numbers have been worse as of late. You talked about it. 7.62 ERA since the All-Star break. Obviously, it's a small sample size. But he's been good at home. So I like the under 8. If Burns can go okay and kind of limit the contact, he's going to get some swing and miss stuff. His swing and miss stuff is really good. 5 of those 6 meetings this year have went under. The other one pushed. So it hasn't even been remotely close outside of that game. The under is also hitting 8 of their last 10 games, which would be basically 8 of 9 because they had a push in there. Cincinnati's 9 straight unders. I think this is a 3-2 type of game, maybe a 4-1, just depending on if you like Keller that much. But I like under in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the under too. I think I would go Pittsburgh, but I don't trust the offense enough, so I'll go with the under instead as my choice. Moving on to what could be the series of the weekend, you have the Astros taking on the Yankees. The Yankees finally won a game. It was not a good series, but they were able to survive. I think the key word is for that finale, as Bednar had the save. But the point is you're looking at Brown against Schlittler. Now, for the pricing, you see the Astros being favored, minus 124, minus 130, though, in most spots. Yankees are plus 110. For the over-under, I do see 8 as the number. Now, Houston recently has not been too good, but we know Brown has been quite good this season. In fact, Brown's ERA is 2.47. He had a bit of a hiccup in the middle of the, last month or so. Last 2 starts, though, 12 innings pitched, 2 runs allowed. So it appears that he's officially back on track. Now, Schlittler was called up midseason for the Yankees. He's been okay, 4.58 ERA. He's been consistent, though. 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs. So not going much distance, but he has been consistent. You could argue that he's been decent so far this season. I'm going Houston in this game. I don't mind first 5. It would not shock me if Brown ended up just throwing up a bunch of zeros and you saw the Yankees score 1 run in the first 5. I think Schlittler, though, should give up at least 2. Could be more. Good enough for me. I'll go with Houston first 5.
Yeah, I like Houston here as well. Although the Yankees have had their number as of late, they won 9 of 10 against Houston.
That's why I'm going first 5.
Yeah. So and well, generally they've had our number.
Yeah.
When it matters,
they do in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, yeah, when it matters, they have our number. But we can beat them all day in the regular season, but we just can't when it matters. But Yankees home after the 2 series road trip, they didn't fare well. I think you talked about it, and I kind of like Schlittler. He's been solid. He just needs to keep the ball in the park. He's got 5 home runs in 4 starts. Also has 11 walks in that span. So maybe it's a little bit of nerves here and there, but I think he'll be fine like long term. But in this specific spot, I like Brown. I mean, 2 or less in 4 of his last 5 on the road. This is the 3rd straight road series for Houston. They're 2-4 so far. But Brown has been excellent, like you said, in the back-to-back starts. You read off the numbers, 1 earned in each of those. But I think it's properly priced. That first 5 for Houston, I would go -0.5 to get some plus money on that, because I do think that Houston will either lead 1-0 or 2-1 with the way Brown's been pitching. So I'll go first 5 under.
Yep. Moving on to the next game on the card, matchup between the A's and the Orioles. A's won today 6-0. Lopez was really good. For this matchup, though, you have Ginn against Sagano. So for this one, the Orioles are slight favorites. They're -120. The A's are +100. For the over-under, I see 9.5. Now, Sagano's had a pretty up-and-down season. 4.42 ERA. He has been, once again, struggling a bit lately. He had 1 good start against the Rockies. That's the Rockies. Doesn't really count. He has allowed at least 3 earned runs, though, in a bunch of starts. What is that, 4 in a row?
Yeah.
7 in a row. 8 of the last 9. He's allowed 3+ earned runs. So my handicap is simple. Give me the A's first 5 team total over.
I like the full game over, to be quite honest. I mean,
I like that too.
Yeah, Sagano's been a mixed bag. Baltimore's 500 the last 10. They're back from tough. This is a tough road trip at Chicago, at the White Sox. I mean, at the Cubs, not the White Sox. And at Philly, they were 2-4 in those games. Like I said, Sagano's got a mixed bag. Ginn's been solid in 2 of his last 3 starts. Both of those did come on the road, so I think that's something to latch on to. But he did have 5 walks in his last start. But the reason why I like the over is he's a contact pitcher. He pitches a contact, and if you put that in with the volatility of Sagano, I think we could see some runs here. If you count today's win, the A's are 3-1 against the Baltimore this year. They're 6-4 in their last 10. I would take a shot with the A's if I had to, but I like the over. What is it, 9.5? I think both teams can get. I think we can get the 10 here somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. I like the A's too. This game feels like a pure coin flip to me, and the A's offensively, besides yesterday, have been in good form lately. Good enough for me. I'll go with the A's in this one. Moving on to the next game, Angels taking on the Tigers. Tigers have not been playing great lately. They struggled against the Twins over the last few days. For the Angels, they lost the game against the Rays yesterday, but to be honest, who cares? Team's just not very good, but they're only 5 under. So for this game, you have the Tigers with Skubal pitching -300. You have the Angels at around +240 with Hendricks pitching. For the over-under, I see 7.5. For the run line in this game, I see the Tigers at around -130 on the run line. Good enough for me. Give me the Tigers -1.5. I think Hendricks isn't very good. The Tigers' offense, I think, has been okay. The issue's been the pitching. Flaherty got killed yesterday. But Skubal, we know, is consistently amazing. Good enough for me. Give me the Tigers -1.5 to -130.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't want to lay that kind of juice. I'll probably just go with some Skubal props. I'll look at his Ks. I mean, he's got 10+ in 4 of his last 6. I think that the Halos strike out a little bit above than an average team. So I think he'll be able to get there. Obviously, he's going to do what he does. So I'm looking at a player prop in this one. I'll just go over his Ks and ladder it up. I would go up to maybe 12-ish, depending upon how long they want to go. That's the thing now. With some of these aces, you kind of got to watch the managers if they're going to limit their innings, especially a team like Detroit. I mean, Detroit's not they're right in the middle where they can kind of coast a little bit, but they can't just full on, So it'll be interesting.
Well, it kind of depends on what the priorities are, because the division has been wrapped up for the last 3 months.
Right.
However, you can argue home field advantage they could still be fighting for throughout the AL.
Right. So. So that's something I'll be monitoring. I don't know if you want to just go out and have Skubal throw 8 1/3 or 7 2/3. Kind of maybe want to limit him and watch his pitch count. So that's the only way I can kind of see him not getting double-digit Ks, but I do like his Ks to be laddered up.
Yeah, he's incredible. I got
Yeah,
nothing else to add.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the next game, Marlins taking on the Braves. They play tonight, actually. Game has not happened yet, though. You have Cabrera against Elder. -110 on both sides, and the over-under in this one is set at 8, flat as a total market-wide. I don't understand this line at all. I understand that preseason the Braves were supposed to be good, and the Marlins were not supposed to be good. Marlins have been decent recently, and you're looking at the Braves who stink. I think Elder stinks, and Cabrera's been good. So I don't get this line at all. You're in Miami -110.
Yeah, I was hoping Atlanta has been playing okay. They won 6 of their last 8, so I can kind of see why. I kind of agree with the line. I was hoping to get the Marlins at plus money.
Wait, who has?
Atlanta's won 6 of the last 8, right?
No, they got swept by Milwaukee.
Did they?
Yeah.
Was I looking at the
Milwaukee killed them. They lost the last game was close, but they were down 2 runs entering the 9th inning.
I might have been looking at the wrong thing. Okay, yeah.
So the Braves have, to go through the actual numbers quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 2, 8 and 3. They've lost 11 of their last 4.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I might have been looking at the wrong thing. So yes,
no, they're terrible. Riley's injured now. Acuna's still injured. Like I think -110's a gift.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a little bit more, to be honest, but I think this is a good price for them. I would look at their team total over as well. Elder 7.38 ERA since the beginning of June. He's got a sky-high hit rate, 8+ in 5 of his last 7, 37 hits in his last 5 home starts. So I think the Marlins can heat him up. If you look at, like, they were 3-2 head-to-head this year. Miami is head-to-head this year. They split a 2-game set in Atlanta. In their 2 losses, they got outscored 17-0. In their 3 wins, they were +10 in the run differential. So obviously just a volatile type of series, but I like Cabrera. He's trending up 3 consecutive great outings. He dominated the Yankees in his last start. He's good on the road. I'll take Cabrera, and I'll take the over in this game as well.
Yeah, Joe thinks you're looking at the 2024 schedule.
I really don't know what the hell.
You probably looked at a different team and accidentally put it under the Braves.
Yeah, it might have been.
If I had to guess. It's fine. Either way, the Braves stink. I got nothing else to add. Moving on to the Guardians, taking on the White Sox. For this game, you have Bybee against Savali. So you are looking at the Guardians being -155, the White Sox are +130, and the over-under in this game is set at around 8.5. So Bybee's been kind of a mess this season. He's 7-9, 4.51 ERA, but an ERA of 5.5 on the road. He has not been good lately. He's given up at least 4 earned in 2 straight, so not exactly doing much in terms of success. But the team's been good anyway, as the team has won 5 straight that he has started in. So despite not pitching well, he gets run support. So that's all that matters sometimes. For Savali, he's actually been good. A 3.99 ERA. He's given up no earned runs in 3 straight starts. Even though I just mentioned a second ago, Bybee's been kind of a mess, I like the under. I think 8.5 is way too high for these teams. The Guardians' offense has been, I'd say, okay at best, but mostly underwhelming. The White Sox offense we know is not very good. And Savali's been good. So give me a low-scoring game. Give me the under 8.5.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I like Chicago. First 5 in full game. I know Cleveland's been playing okay. I think it's a good sell-high spot for them coming off the sweep versus the Mets. They're 6-1 head-to-head against the White Sox this year. 4 of those 7 games were decided by 1 run. So it's been competitive. The White Sox on the opposite end are coming off being swept in Seattle. Somewhat competitive. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I like Savali, man. You talked about Bybee's numbers, 4+ in 4 of his last 6. He's got 6 home runs allowed in his last 5, 4+ earned runs allowed in 4 of his last 5 on the road. Savali, you talked about the 3 scoreless streaks, 17 and 3rd innings pitched, if you want to add those up.
To be clear, he gave up a run, but that was unearned.
Yeah. Earned is what I mean. Yeah. He's not been as sharp at home lately. He's got 4+ earned in 2 of his last 3 at home. But I mean, I think that Cleveland's offense is gettable here. I'm going to take a shot with Savali in the first 5 in the full game, and I agree with you on the under. If we think that the offense of Chicago is can maybe limit some of the troubles that Bybee's have. So I can kind of see like a 4-3 type of game.
Yeah, I just thought that with the total at 8.5, the wind would probably blowing out. Because it's in Chicago, you figured maybe there'd be some crazy wind involved. It's actually blowing in at around 10 miles per hour. So I definitely expect this line to move downward if the wind reports are correct. I can see that closing at 8. So I'll go with the under 8.5 before it moves. Moving on to the next game, which could be the other series of the weekend. You have the Phillies taking on the Rangers. For this one, you are looking at the Phillies using Sanchez against Kelly for the Rangers. The Phillies are minus 135. The Rangers are plus 115. For the over-under, I see 7.5. Texas won the series against the Yankees. You could argue that the Yankees handed it over, but either way, the point is the Rangers lost the finale, won the series. Phillies, though, have been good recently. Sanchez has been very good. 10-3, 2.4 ERA. Kelly's been good too, 3.22 ERA. But Sanchez, besides one bad outing against the White Sox, has allowed less than 2 earned runs in 7 of his last 8 starts. So he's been incredible. Last start, 8 innings pitched, no runs. The guy's a machine. I think Kelly's good, but not Sanchez good. Give me the Phillies offense to kind of do some damage here. I think Kelly is good, but I do think he can give up some contact when you have Harper and Schwarber and company. It's tricky. I'll go with the Phillies minus 135.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the other side, but it's strictly because of the plus price. Like, I think this is a closer game. I would probably make it like, one of those 115 minus 105 type of things. I mean, both teams have been a bit inconsistent, so it's not really like one team's playing better than the other. They're both kind of been up and down. And this was actually supposed to be Wheeler, and he's dealing with some shoulder issues, if I'm not mistaken. So he got to start pushback. I like Sanchez. I like Keller. Keller 3 or less in 9 straight, 2 or less in his last 5. This will be his first home start with the Rangers, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, I think that's correct.
Yeah, so I know he had 1 start earlier, but yeah, this will be his first home start. I think the crowd will be ready to go. It's a big series. I'm going to take Texas with the plus money. But, I mean, it's nothing of conviction. I just like the plus price beside them, and they've been playing somewhat better at home.
Well, to be fair, Philly is 16 games over, but they are 500 on the road. They're very good at home. On the road, not so much. Texas is 4 over. They're 15 over at home. So both teams are great at home. So you could argue that the Rangers having home field might actually matter in this matchup. So there we go. Before we get into the remainder of the card for Friday, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Art Fantasy, because they're doing Best Mania, happening all summer long. 15 million prizes, 2 minutes first place, no waiver wire, no trade arguments, best balls, best way to play fantasy football. You can also do pick'em entries if you want to try that out for underdog, but you go up to 500 times your entry. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN. You get a special pick in the first time that offer up to $1K in bonus cash on fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookADT. It's available at a ton of locations using to bet on baseball, WNBA, tennis, golf, and of course football futures. And of course you could use crypto for payouts and deposits. When you sign up though for your new account, use the code SGPN. 100% doesn't match up to $1K. In terms of conditions, MyBookADT promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going for the first couple games on the card for Friday. Time to keep rolling with the Rangers taking on the Twins. So for this one, the Royals taking on the Twins. So you have Lugo against Ryan for this one. You're looking at the Twins being favored, about minus 135. The Royals are plus 115. For the over-under, I see 8.5 or 8 to shop around. You do see a bit of a split line. Lugo has been good. In fact, he got a contract extension because he's been solid with the Royals in his career. Recently, he's been kind of up and down. 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 5 earned runs. So you're kind of seeing some back and forth. For Ryan, we know he's been very good this season. So good that we're kind of shocked he's still here because the Twins traded away everybody else on the team. But last start, 6 innings, 2 runs against the Guardians. I'll say this, though. Watching the Twins play with their random lineup that they had because they traded away the entire roster, they were good. They won 2 out of 3 against the Tigers. They scored at least 6 runs in 2 straight. I actually like what I saw from this offense. So I like Ryan. I think the offense is young but feisty. Good enough for me. Give me the Twins money line in this game.
Yeah, I think it's another one that we kind of disagree on. I love the under though. The under is my favorite play. Under 8.5. You can find 8.5. Get that. 6 of the last 7 meetings have went under. I'm looking at it from this perspective as Lugo. So he's faced some superior. Well, I wouldn't say superior. I guess some of the upper echelon offenses. So he's allowed. So against the Yankees, the Dodgers, Toronto, the Cubs, and San Diego, which are 5 of the best offenses in the league. He allowed 5 combined earned runs in that span. He's also allowed 2 or less in 6 of his last 7 on the road. Only allowed over 3 earned runs once since June, and that was the 5 earned runs that you mentioned. And Minnesota did look good at Detroit. They've won 3 of the last 4. I like Ryan as well. I think Lugo can kind of outduel him here. So I'm going to go under, and I'm going to take the plus money with Kansas City.
I like the under two. I just watched the Royals against the Red Sox over the weekend. Wasn't too impressed. So I think it makes sense why Ryan's favored in this game. Moving on to the next game, though. Mets taking on the Brewers. Mets are in free fall. Almost got no hit by Gavin Williams yesterday. But Soto broke it up. 126 pitches. So they really let Williams try to get it, but he couldn't get it. Either way, though, you have Senga against Woodruff. Good pitching matchup here. Milwaukee's minus 125. The Mets are plus 105. And the over-under is around 8. Now, Senga, since coming back from the IL, has not been as good as people thought, but he's still been, of course, a guy who can have great outings, so keep that in mind. But the last 3 starts, he's gone a total of 12 innings, giving up 11 earned runs. But the Mets somehow win his starts because the Mets have won. I don't know if you're actually ready to hear this. 8 straight starts that Senga's made, despite him being terrible since coming off the IL. So we know Milwaukee has been incredible, best team in the league right now record-wise. I believe they are 20-4 in their last 24 games. They swept Atlanta. I bet them every game. It was, as far as I'm concerned, free money. I appreciate it. They were plus money against Strider. That made me laugh. A nice win there in the last game. I'm going Milwaukee. This team's a freight train. They're good at home. The Mets are falling apart, and Senga's been terrible. And Woodruff's been really, really good. Give me Milwaukee at what I think is a pretty cheap price. Best price right now is minus 124. Sure. I think they should be like minus 140. They've been really good lately. Give me Milwaukee.
Yeah, minus 135 earlier. So somebody's betting the Mets. Maybe it's D-Rock. Maybe D-Rock's betting the Mets. But
I think D-Rock, the last thing you would do is bet the Mets right now.
Yeah, but I like Milwaukee as well. I mean, just two teams trending in opposite direction. Milwaukee 6-game winning streak. You talked about the longevity, but just short term, they've won 6 straight.
It's not fluky, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's
I
not.
mentioned this yesterday. Watching them play, this team is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, right. And they're not going to overpower you. They're just a really good, well-rounded baseball team. They get really good production from the bottom of their lineup. Probably some of the best production from the bottom of the lineup in MLB. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure they're one of the top 6 through 9. I would say they're pretty well-rounded.
Definitely.
Yeah, and they don't strike out a ton. They get on base. They're patient at the plate. A really good team, man. Really, really good team. I like Woodruff. I was going to highlight some of the things that you said about Senga. Just a little bit more, 11 earned in his last 3. In his 14 other starts, he allowed 13 combined. That just kind of shows you the funk he's been in. 4 home runs in his last 3 also. 13 walks in his last 4. The thing is, he has been pretty consistent on the road.
As far as I'm concerned, that might have been pre-injury because that last start against the Giants on the road, 5 innings, 3 earned, 5 walks. I mentioned the earned runs. He's allowed 11 earned runs in his last 3 starts.
Yep.
He's also walked 11 guys.
Yeah. 13 in his last 4.
Serious problem.
Yeah, 13 last 4. Yeah. So I mean, the Mets did win 2 of 3 in July. Both teams scored 12 runs, which is I found that kind of ironic. But I like Woodruff, man. I like Woodruff. He does have a home run issue though. He's got 14 hits allowed in 5 starts. 5 of those hits have been home runs. So I can't get behind the Mets right now. I think you gotta play something dealing with Milwaukee. Maybe if you want to play a first 5, or maybe if you want to parlay them with the under, because I like the under.
Yeah, I do want to ask you, just out of curiosity. Nathan and I talked about Woodruff yesterday. I'm a big Woodruff guy. I think when healthy, he's a very good pitcher. But I do want to ask you, is this an emotional game for Milwaukee? First time they've played against the Mets in this building since the Alonso home run in the 9th inning.
Oh, wow.
They played in Citi Field earlier this year. Now, unfortunately for the Mets, Devin Williams isn't there anymore, so they have to face an actual close. But this is the first time that Milwaukee's playing this team since the collapse that we saw last year in the playoffs.
Man, well, this might be added motivation for me. I might have to.
Asking if you care.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. You brought it to my attention. I really didn't know that. So I might have to, add an extra unit onto that. I like that. I
liked it anyway. But yeah, you get this team back there with an actual closer. I think you're in a good spot to take care of business. Moving on to the next game. Looking at a match between the Cubs and the Cardinals. The Cardinals did win the last game against the Dodgers. The Dodgers have just been really unimpressive. And so the Cubs, they've kind of been treading. Milwaukee is now 4 games clear. I think Milwaukee's the best team in the league right now. The Cubs are, once again, fine recently. They haven't really wowed anybody. You have Boyd going, though, who's been really good. 11-4, 2.34 ERA. Cubs are minus 165. You have McGreevy pitching, for the Cardinals at plus 140. For the over-under in this game, I do see it being set at around 8.5. So the Cardinals, we know, have been good at home this season. They are 8 over, so being a 500 team. The Cubs are 18 over, and they're 4 over on the road. I don't think McGreevy's any good. Just full disclosure, I don't think he's a great pitcher. I think Boyd is, objectively speaking, a very solid option. He had one really bad start against Milwaukee because Milwaukee's really good. Yep. Besides that, he's allowed 0 earned runs in 4 straight starts if you ignore the Milwaukee start. So I like Boyd here. Give me Cubs first 5 -0.5. I think Boyd can pitch well. I'll ignore the Cubs bullpen. I think this game could get interesting late. But I do think McGreevy struggles. I think Boyd pitches well. Give me Cubs first 5 run line.
Yeah, I like the Cubs here as well. I mean, Boyd, if you want to expand that a little bit more, you got a few of my points in there as well. Scoreless in 5 of his last 7. Since June, that Milwaukee game is pretty much his only blemish, and we just were, waxing poetically about Milwaukee. That's the only time he's allowed over 2 runs since June. So he's been really good. If you look at the head-to-heads this year, 4-3 for the Cubs. They scored 48 runs in those 7 games. St. Louis scored 18. I think the Cubs do need to put together a solid, month here to kind of get things back going. They've just been pretty much around like 500 every other week. Don't really like McGreevy, like you talked about. 5.08 ERA in 7 appearances, 6 starts. He's got 4+ earned in 4 straight at home and 3 of his last 4 overall. I'm going to take Chicago minus the 1.5, and I'm going to take the over 8.5. I think Chicago can get to this number by themselves, at least 7. I think they can get to at least 7. I talked about what they were able to do early on in the season, and 5 of the 8 meetings flew over. One of the meetings flew under, but the other one, Chicago scored 8 runs and at a total of 8.5, and the Cardinals couldn't score. So I think the over is
moving on to the next game, though, you have the Red Sox taking on the Padres. Now, for this one, Red Sox have been good lately. Did lose the last game against the Royals, but you know what? They are still 12 over, and they're probably going to be a playoff team. For this one, you have Buehler pitching against Pivetta. It's a bit of a revenge game there for Pivetta. For the money line here, you have the Padres minus 180. You have the Red Sox at plus 150. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at around 8. Now, Pivetta at home has been incredible, but Boston's offense has been good lately, too. I can't stand Buehler, so I guess I have to go Padres, but it's a very expensive price that I'm not a fan of. But Pivetta at home is 7-0 with a 1.99 ERA. So I'm kind of just stuck. I'll go San Diego first 5, but the run line's probably expensive anyway. So I'm really stuck trying to find value because I don't know if I want to lay 1.5 with Pivetta here against a good Red Sox offense. So, yeah, I think I'm on Padres first 5, but I don't really have much else of an angle. Maybe San Diego first 5 team total. I can avoid Pivetta, just blindly fade Buehler. That sounds good to me. I'll go San Diego, I guess, first 5 team total in this game.
Yeah, I like the full game team total as well. I mean, I couldn't find a ton on this. These are 2 teams that I want to bet on and not against. Pavetta's been excellent. 1 combined in his last 4 at home, 1 or less in 6 of his last 9. Both teams have won 8 of 10. Buehler is just, 12 walks in his last 4. He has been okay, like 3 or less in 5 straight, but I still don't trust him. He doesn't have good road numbers, but he's been better in his last 2 starts. Pitches to contact, San Diego 5-1. The last 6 at home. So it'd be San Diego or nothing. The team total, I think you brought up a good point. First 5 team total is probably
the counterpoint is if you want Pivetta involved because he's been so good at home. I'm still kind of scared to back Pivetta because of years past. I know he's been great this season. So I'm going team total, but if you like Pivetta in the game, then you probably just want the run line.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take that team total. I don't want to bet against either team. I know Buehler's had his struggles, but he's been okay as of late, and I can't get behind fading either of these teams.
I want to say the last time that Buehler faced the Padres was in the playoff series last year after he got robbed at that racetrack, and then he got destroyed the start after. Remember what I'm talking about?
I do remember that story.
He went with
his wife
or girlfriend to, I think it was Santa Anita, and they robbed him.
Yeah, I
and then he
remember
pitched the game after, and he sucked.
That was crazy.
And then it worked out for him because he ended up winning a World Series, and he was good against the Yankees. But I remember that. I think it was the last time he pitched against this team. I think. Maybe. Did he pitch against them again later in that series? I can't imagine the Dodgers letting him pitch twice.
Wasn't that a short series?
No, that went the distance. Because San Diego was one game away from winning. They didn't score the last 2 games in the series.
There we go.
They got shut out the last 2 games, had a chance to close out, and then the Dodgers won the World Series. But I think that I don't remember if Buehler pitched against the Padres though after getting shelled that one time. I don't remember, but I remember him getting robbed. Anyway, moving on to the next game, you have the Rockies taking on the Diamondbacks. So for this one, we know the Rockies are terrible. Damn, they got curb stomped against Toronto. So to go through the actual stats there for the series. So the Rockies in that 3-game home series got outscored a grand total of 45-6. 45-6. They lost every game by at least 6 runs. They lost 2 of the 3 games by at least 14 runs. Damn, they got destroyed. Anyway, for this one, you're looking at the pitching matchup, which should be interesting because both teams really aren't great at pitching. You have Gomber against Gallen. Gallen's been a mess this year. Gomber's been even worse. Diamondbacks minus 210, Rockies plus 175. The over-under is set at around 9 for this game. I know the Rockies on the road are really bad offensively. I can't trust Gallen. I think Gomber stinks. Just give me the over. I don't want to lay 210 with the Diamondbacks, so it's either run line or pass. I don't want to take that with once again, Gallen either. So give me the over 9.
Yeah, I love the over. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to bet either side. Just going to bet for runs. Colorado's actually over in 8 of the last 10. Arizona scored 5+ in 4 of the last 5, if I'm not mistaken. Gallen's ERA 5.10 in July. He started August okay with 2 earned, but I don't really trust it. He's got a high hit rate. Gomber's 6.18 ERA since returning from a shoulder injury. Home run allowed in 6 straight. So I think we can see some fireworks in this game.
By the way, I looked up the Buehler thing out of curiosity. So he did get shelled, gave up 6 earned in 5 innings. However, after that bad start post-robbery, no runs the rest of the postseason. So there you go.
That's elite.
He ended the World Series. Didn't he close Game 5? I thought he did.
So.
But either way, point is moving on to the next game. Looking at the Rays taking on the Mariners. Mariners playing right now. They are up 2-0. The Rays have been underwhelming, but they faced the Angels recently. So I guess people look decent by comparison. They won the last 2 games, but they're still below 500. Anyway, for this matchup, the pitching can be a bit of an interesting dynamic for Tampa because Rasmussen's pitching, who's been good, but his innings have been really, really in flux for the last couple months. So you don't know how long he's going to pitch for. Castillo, though, has been really good. Castillo, over the last few outings, has been he was not very good against Texas last time out, but he's been very solid for the last couple of months. And at home, 2.4 ERA. Seattle, though, is about minus 130. I see Tampa at plus 110, plus 118 in some spots. For the over-under in this game, though, I do see it being set at 7.5. I like Seattle. I think this price is too cheap. Tampa has a good starter that I like with an asterisk next to it because he might only go 3 innings. So I'm not going to buy too much into it. Give me Seattle at minus 130.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rays first 5. I did peep that that Rasmussen, like he's on some type of workload restriction. I'm not sure. He's not going over 5 innings since June.
I don't even know if they sold because they ended up getting a couple of players. They got Jax and they ended up getting Hauser from the White Sox. But this team has kind of been out of it for a while. They're kind of just playing out the string at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, they had that one they had that month where they were really
fell off
good.
right after.
But But I like Rasmussen in the first 5, hoping that he gets to 5. I think we can get a first 5 under as well. Castillo's been good at home. He's been a lot better than early on in the season. He had his struggles early on, but he's kind of hit a good stride. I think the Mariners in a good groove right now as well. So I'll take Rays first 5 and get some plus money on that, but nothing too strong though.
Moving on to the next game, you have the Blue Jays against the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers, as I said before, have not been too good lately. Blue Jays were kind of hovering, and then they face off against the Rockies, and that was the wake-up call they needed. For this one, though, you have Scherzer against Kershaw in a really good matchup back in 2012. But we're here in 2025, so we'll see how they look. Kershaw, we know, has been fine this season. a 5-2, 3.29 ERA. Scherzer's been quite good lately. Last two starts, he has, last start, 6 innings, 1 run. Start before that, 7 innings, 3 runs. So he's been fine lately. The Dodgers, though, we know have been pretty up and down, and they're laying 160. The over-under in this game is set at about 9. I think this price is insanely disrespectful to Toronto. Give me Toronto plus 135. The Dodgers have been overvalued for a while. They've really not been that good. Give me the Blue Jays plus 132.
Yeah, we got Senior Citizen Day, man, in Dodger Stadium. This would have been a great matchup about 10 years ago, like you said. I mean, both pitchers have been pretty steady to me. I mean, not both teams have been 500. I keep waiting on the Dodgers to kind of like do something to where I'd be like, okay, that's cool. I see they got a switch that they can turn on, but they haven't done it yet. Kershaw's coming off 6 scoreless at Tampa, who we just talked about. But he's been solid overall. Scherzer's been steady as well. He does have some home run issues, and he's facing the wrong team to have home run issues against. 6 home runs allowed in his last 4. But yeah, I can't get behind the Dodgers at this price. I'm going to take Toronto plus money. I like the over as well. I think both pitchers could give up 3-4 runs each.
Moving on to the last game, Nationals taking on the Giants. You have Kang going for the Giants, 13.5 ERA in a small sample against Irvin, 4.89 ERA. Irvin, though, got shelled last start. 4 innings, 5 runs against the Brewers, but once again, it's the Brewers, so can't really fault him too much, but he has allowed at least 5 earned in 2 of the last 3. So for this game, the over-under, we don't have lines on. The side, we don't have lines on. I know it's in San Francisco, and the Nationals might not be able to hit, but I kind of like the over in this game. I think I like the Giants too, but I'm waiting on a number. Damn, the Nationals are terrible. This team's awful. They can't pitch. The offense has been struggling too. I think I'm on the Giants, but maybe over as well, but I don't have lines. So assuming it's not over 150, I'll take San Francisco.
Yeah, I got nothing on this game. I'm glad it's off the board. I have absolutely nothing. This is a horrible game. This is a horrible game. I was going to look at the over as well. San Francisco's been okay, 4-2 last 6. I mean, pitching matchup is so volatile. Like, you could tell me that both pitchers give up 5 earned. You could tell me that they go good. I mean, Tang has been. I mean, he's only had 1 start, right? So I mean, it's not a ton to go off of. Irvin is a contact pitcher, but I don't really trust San Francisco's offense to kind of do anything. So, yeah, definitely just gonna probably pass this one and probably look at an over maybe.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. We have no lines, so I don't think anybody really wants to bet on this game. Anyway, before getting to the actual lock and dog picks, a reminder, they're brought to you by Circa. So they're hosting 3 of the biggest football contests upcoming season. They have the Circa Million Contest, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo. $200 million in guaranteed prizes. You cannot call yourself a true DJ if you're not competing in the contest. Hang out at SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend. We're on the 21st, 23rd of August for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off your stay at Circa with code HB15. Contest open to everyone. Sign up in the bottom of anywhere with the help of our official proxy at footballcontest.com. Use code HGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they have powered trends, which are now called Smart Signals. Same thing, just changed the name. They've been crushing it in baseball and with WNBA. So in baseball, they are updated every day, and they've been very good at fading specific players. They've been great at the under on batter props. Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton, 14-0, taking the unders on those 2 guys of the season. So once you can keep that in mind, for WNBA, the Smart Signals since the All-Star break are 27-16. So check out the power trends on Rhythm and check out the actual free trial that we have as a link deal with Rhythm. Use the link sportsgamepodcast.com Rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games on the card for Friday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Lonte, I feel like we liked a ton on the actual card, but I'll ask you, what do you like for the lock and dog?
Yeah, so I hit a total last lock, so I'm going to take another one here. Let's go under 8 in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. First game on the board. 5 of the last 6 meetings went under. The other one pushed. So I like both pitchers. As long as Burns can kind of not allow, like he's pretty much been somewhat boomer bust, but if he can pitch quality against Pittsburgh, I think they'll be fine. I think we get a 3-2, 4-3 type of game. I just don't see a ton of runs scored in this game. Both pitchers can pitch up to their standards. So I like under there. For the dog, I'm going to go. Actually, I had Kansas City as my last dog, and I think I'm going to take them again here. Yeah, just strictly off of the price. I'm going to take Kansas City on the road. It's pretty much a sell, not a sell high spot, but it's just a decent spot for Kansas City. And I think that, Ryan's been good. Lugo's been good. I think it's a coin flip type of game. So I'm going to take the plus money with
So
Kansas
for my
City.
lock, I'm going to go with an even money play, actually. Give me the under in that Guardians and White Sox game. I see even money on the under 8.5. Sure. The White Sox offense, I think, is not very good. Cleveland's offense is okay, I guess, but you're looking at Savale, who's been really good. Bybee is not, but I'm hoping that the wind blowing in is going to help him with this home run problem. Give me the under 8.5 in that game at plus 100 as my lock. For the dog, I'm going to go with a pretty simple motivation play, but I like the team anyway. Milwaukee's price on the run line is absolutely incredible. Milwaukee minus 1.5 is plus 175. They're 20-4 in their last 24 games. The Mets are terrible. They almost got no hit by Gavin Williams. Give me Woodruff. Sanga's been god-awful in his last 3 starts. Yes, they've been winning his starts anyway. Not because of him. He's not been very good. So give me Milwaukee minus 1.5 at plus 175 as my dog for the show. Time for the home run picks. Lonte, what do you like for the home runs?
Yeah, I'm going to go to a game where I think it'll be a lot of runs scored. And the one team that I specifically think is going to score all the runs, let's go with Kyle Tucker for the Cubs. He's been okay as of late. He has not hit a home run since July 19th. I think we see a lot of runs in this game. They are typically really good against St. Louis. I think McGreevy could get caught in a bad spot here against a hot offense coming into the month of August. So I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker.
So I'm trying to think of which guy I want to fade because there were a couple options. I could fade Gomber, which is always fun. I could even fade Gallen on that one if I want to. Do I want to fade Kershaw? I think I'm going to end up fading Bueller. Who am I kidding? I can't stand Bueller. I've roasted him I've roasted him for like 2 straight years. And besides the last 3 playoff appearances, he's been terrible for about 2 straight years. So for Bueller's home runs, he has allowed at least 1 home run in 3 of the last 4. Good enough for me. For the Padres, looking at who's owned him lifetime, Tatis has 5 home runs against him. That's probably good enough for me. Tatis really hasn't done much lately. He has 17 homers. He hasn't hit a home run in a while. Let me just quickly see when the last time he hit a home run was. July 24th. It's the only home run he's had since July 11th. So he's been quite bad lately, but he owns Bueller, and I can't stand Bueller. Give me Tatis home run in this game as my home run choice. Anyway, going to wrap it up for the show. We'll be back once again on Friday to break down the Saturday games. You can find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter at XXLonteXX. Till next time,